Kyle, just what's the excitement level like for this game? One game to decide if your season goes on, especially against the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very exciting game, first off, in general. I think it's great for baseball. It's a game that is, it says it all in its words, wild card, anything can happen, it's wild. So it's very exciting, and obviously, there with the Yankees, too, and the history with Red Sox Yankees, it's going to be it's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be all hands on deck, and you're just trying to find a way to win it any way possible.
Go to Marley in the back left.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle, you obviously were at this year in a losing club. You get traded. You are in this position. What is this moment like for you?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I was spoiled when I was in Chicago, for making 5 out of 6, playing 2 wild card games. Being able to win a World Series and 2 NLCSs. So, I love the playoffs. And this is something that I want to keep doing every year. I want to be known as a player that is wanting to go out there and win and help the team reach the playoffs and reach the ultimate goal of a World Series. But obviously, it's a step at a time. So just to be here in this position, you just got to make the playoffs any way possible. Look at the 2019 Washington Nationals, and they make the second wild card, and they go all the way to win the World Series. So, obviously the division's a number one goal there, but just to make the playoffs in general, it's always a good thing.
And Kyle, you had that moment with your former teammate Anthony Rizzo on the field during the last Fenway Park series, and you guys talked about how weird it was to be on both sides of this rivalry now. How is it going to be to face your old friend and obviously World Series winner with you?
Yeah, I mean, still obviously great friend. I mean, a lot of history, a lot of time in clubhouses, hotels. Talk about a great human being, and I couldn't be more happy for him too, to being in a position like this, where he's in a postseason, and all the other guys that were, I think Chris made the playoffs too, so congratulations to him. But as players, this is all that we can ask for, is to go out there and win and be in the postseason, and anything can happen. So it's just trying to get here, and once you get here, run with it and see where it takes you.
Sean, front left.
Kyle, you referenced already going through this before. I think you were also in a play-in game too. What's that sense of urgency like when you're in the middle of it on the field, when it is win or go home? How different is that maybe than a regular postseason game, and how does it impact you as the game is going along?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's good for the sport, but it's not ideal to be in sometimes, just in terms of, it's a one and done. And, I think it's more of excitement when you come into the park. That's the biggest thing, is that you're excited when you're rolling into the game, into the park, knowing that, it's today, and this is all we can do. And, but, as that game can keep rolling on, I think the battle is to keep the voices out of the head there, and just take it inning by inning, pitch by pitch. That's kind of the biggest thing. You can't look too far ahead in these games. You can't start playing, as a player, you can't start planning innings and innings ahead. You got to be able to just focus at what's in front of you, because the little thing's going to matter in this game. The nasty one hop double play, that if that gets turned, that's a big thing. Something like that, or the base running, or taking advantage of an error or a misplay or anything like that. That's going to be the difference in these types of games.
Gabe, back middle.
Hey, Kyle. You were pretty young when this rivalry was in its big heyday back in the 2000s. Do you have any earliest memories of it at all, or how did you sort of experience, the Pedro Martinez and Ortiz and Clemens era as a young guy, and maybe learning about it as you started to appreciate baseball history more?
Yeah, I mean, I always felt like when you flipped on ESPN on Sunday night, it was Yankees, Red Sox. So, being able to just grow up watching games like this and see the hard fought battles that they had, and I think the most memorable one for guys kind of my age is the Veritek A-Rod shoving match. That's kind of the memorable one for us, and it's going to be a hard fought battle. I think that's kind of the biggest thing, and the history I think is great. It's going to be great entertainment for the fans, but for us, it's more about going out there and executing our own game, and if we can do what we want to do, at the end of the day, we're going to be happy if it's a win or a loss.
And what was it like for you getting a half season or so of exposure to the rivalry? Was it what you expected, and was there anything that surprised you about it, just getting your first taste of it?
Excuse me. Sorry. Negative, guys. But, I just think don't get me wrong, like, for me, being the new guy, it's more about going out there and winning. For me, I think for guys that have been here a little bit longer, it is going to be, they got more experience in that than what I do. So for me and the young stuff, I'm just here trying to help the team win and go from there. Any water?
Yeah, I'm going to get you water. Alex on the left.
These lights.
Kyle, I'll make the question long so you can get the water. Can you? How strange has this roster been to see? Given all of the changes that have occurred over these couple of months since you've come over, and what have been your impressions of Alex Cora as you've gotten to know him?
Sorry, restate the first
Sure.
part there.
The first part is, how strange has it been to see how much roster change there's been? Whether because of COVID or because of just roles, etc. Over this time.
I feel like the big thing is that we've done a really good job of just the next man up mentality. That's been huge for us. So being able to stay with that and not being affected by either the COVID bug or injuries or anything like that. But thanks. No, you're good. Need this. Not being affected by the injury bug or anything like that has been big for us. But, obviously it's not ideal circumstances that we had to face early on there, especially when I came over and that kind of all hit at once. But I felt like we did a really good job of just staying focused on what we needed to stay focused on, and that was winning baseball games. And, my impressions of AC have been unbelievable. Talk about a manager who really cares about his players and cares about the way that the game is being played. He's very honest and upfront with you, which I can appreciate. And, I think that is something that goes a long ways with players and the way that a team's going to perform. And I feel like he's been unbelievable with me, and I've heard from other guys around the league who are like John was his former teammate, Lester. Just only heard great things about the guy. So he's been unbelievable, and very happy to be playing for him.
Ian on the front right, please.
Kyle, how much do you feel for JD to have a kind of a free victory like yesterday? How much do you hope that he can give it a go tomorrow night?
Yeah, that is. That this plain up sucks. Freak injury there, and hoping the best that he's able to go out there and play. He's been a staple here for how long now, and been a staple in this game, a huge bat in this game. So, really hoping that it turns out well for him and that he can strap it up tomorrow. And if he can't, we've been in a spot like this before where we just got to next man up, and but really hoping that it works out for him.
Any other questions for Kyle? Okay, in the back right, Chris.
Kyle, you've obviously been in these types of moments before. From a hitter's perspective, how do you go about trying to, maximize the moment and put yourself in a spot, mentally where you can get clutch if needed?
Yeah, I think the big thing is just being able to stay in the moment, and obviously it's going to be an electric atmosphere tomorrow, and you can't let that really play with your heartbeat. You have to kind of keep that that same heartbeat at the same level as it would be if you're playing the field. So it's going to be a challenge. Don't get me wrong. We're all human. We all want the big hit. We all want to come up huge, and I think the big thing is just being able to trust the guy in front of you and behind you to get the job done. And if you don't get it done, that guy behind you will. So that'll be a big thing.